something that I should not miss. And on that note, I would like to welcome everyone, the friends of my former mentor who are with us this afternoon to this launching of another achievement that I know for sure is that you're sharing it to the university. So I am happy to be with all of you during this occasion. As Chancellor of MSUIIT, it is my honor to articulate the university's pride that one of our own sits with our country's artists, Dr. Christine Ortega, who happened to be my mentor in poetry, literary criticism, and also novel. I'm so proud to be her a student, and that truly makes me a son of the university. Within this decade, the university has seen the fastest growth of the humanities and arts section of the academy. And I am one of those who believe that humanities and arts are the backbone, the heart and soul of the university. While it may be true that when we look into interdisciplinarity literature, the clash of two cultures, the science and arts, as we've seen it, as how disciplines grow over the years. But the truth and in fact, interdisciplinarity is nothing new. It is in fact the birth of knowledge. In the past, we don't see the dichotomy of knowledge. We do not see arts versus science. In fact, we see doctors who are poets, those in the field of medicine, lawyers who are engineers, warriors who are, this is the birth of knowledge. That is why in my visioning the universities, I hope that we can bring back the original mantra of knowledge, and that is how knowledge and how disciplines work together. And I think there is no best expression of how we see transdisciplinarity, or you may call it multidisciplinarity, cross-disciplinarity, ano bang klaseng term. But they're all embraced by the concept of transdisciplinarity. And I would like to emphasize there is no better avenue to see how humanities and science, engineering, and now technology interact is in the field of humanities. In the past, in fact, we don't have the College of Science and Mathematics, but we have the School of Humanities, where also the hard sciences are also housed. The institution, another example, we've also seen a landmark development that we pioneered, is the establishment of the Center of Culture and Arts. And we have here the pioneering director, Dr. Stephen Patrick C. Fernandez, another mentor of mine. So I am surrounded by mentors. No? And we've discussed a lot on how we will also hope to eventually see how we can further improve the Center of Culture and Arts. And in fact, we've discussed about finally establishing the Academy of Performing Arts, where we can, this is something that I hope to see if we are a matured university. The height of the maturity of university is to see the maturity of its humanities, the arts. If we have not yet embraced the importance of culture and arts, then we cannot claim to be a world-class university. We cannot claim to be a matured university. And so we need to start. That's why in Hinay, we hope we can have a decent, if not something that we can truly be proud of, a venue where the performing arts can showcase their talent. Just like last night when we had the Octava, how I wish we have a grand theater, not a mini theater. We hope to build the Turugan. I've discussed this with Amado. In fact, I've discussed this with the performing arts, so hopefully, if not this year, we're able to provide them their own distant studio. Because we want to cultivate talents of our students. Today, the Culture and Arts, now CA, works alongside with PRISM, KTTO, IDEA, FabLab, and myself. Usahay gani mo ko, sa Amado ka sa kamundang sa imong activities, kadagdag pag yung activities. No, and I'm so happy that you're taking the challenge because na miss po ba yun na to ang mga activities because of the pandemic. So everybody is excited to hold the events. So parallel development of arts is crucial because we know this is to be true. It is only when our arts have caught up with scientific advances. It is only when we paint and dance and sing and write verses about how we feel about what we have discovered do we truly progress as a people. And this is why we are zealous advocates of furthering the arts, especially in Mindanao, and bringing it to the world. That we continue to mark this progress with the new artistic output is truly a joy to see. And I'm happy that today it is from one of my favorite teachers. Because truth to be told, how many poets do we actually know? I hope, sir, Dr. My other professor is also with us, Dr. Anthony Tang, another favorite professor. How many do we know who see a story in the pattern of stone circles in a garden in Kyoto and imagine a conversation with a samurai? Someone through whose eyes twin sisters lived in a frothy flung into the rainbow mist of the Maria Cristina Falls. How many do we know who take notice of two spaces, of bare feet on sand, of white socks picking against dark robes, who notice raindrops on pine needles and train tracks tapering to the unknown? How many do we know who can paint what she hears, perhaps as potently as what she sees? Who can write for us the music of the kulintang, the compelling swirls of rhythmic beats? Someone who can recreate the angry sound of water with her r's and the throbbing star by Wawa's rolling waters rushing with the mighty Abusan River. And as easily with both sounds slow us down to a denouement as in the low point crossing, the braiding of a moment like silver showers in the early morning breeze. Mura ko nagbasa diri poem. In this state, ako nagitiwas, hindi ako magbasa niya, di ba? In this state of calm, she invites us to contemplate, as she does in endings a tribute. In the chaos of a roadside accident, the persona goes inward to reflect about death. It is not for us to say when things must end, for this unfortunately curling back to an imaginary world. Elsewhere, as her collection, in Arden Spring, she talks about the womb as a place of rest, water pool below, a forest canopy, warm, warm for the weary soul. Only an artist can hold together death and birth with such ease in perspective. Finally, it is this perspective that invites us to ask questions we did not know we were asking. In Beyond Strings, Beyond Words, the artist persona asks, what is truth beyond what are seen or heard? And this is the sensibility she brings in her poem Kingfisher, inspired by a photograph of this bird swooping down on water. She talks about twin worlds, one which the kingfisher inhabits and one that is mirrored by the water. In this image, two beaks meet, two pairs of wings, two skies. We who read her do not ask which of the two is real. We ask instead, is either real? Aren't both an illusion? And don't we choose which one to inhabit? Kung naman ito giparecite ni Ma'am Christine sa ako ang literary criticism ani, kan sa ako makagraduate aning klasihan sa subject ini, but I enjoy doing this. I miss those moments when we are required to do a lot of so mga naghimo na gid ko ani kuan mama o kasi tawagana o reviews ay mohang kuan. So naman ka quick kopyaan na. And this is why we are happy, we are hungry for poetry. It affords us with this extraordinary perspective. It is the poet who lends us her looking glass. And this is why we are lucky to be in the company of one. My congratulations to my former mentor, Professor Dr. Christine Gudenis-Ortega, for this beautiful collection of poetry. Pales in a comparison to my celebration of her as a mentor. Ma'am Christine, thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your belief in me. And most of all, thank you for your poetry.